well. We are joined in studio with Ron Solsrud, owner of Petland of Iowa City, East Side, Iowa City Marketplace, Lower Muscatine Road. Ron, how does the world treat you?
It treats me very well.
Tell us about the Maltese, if you will. I'm intrigued.
You're intrigued. What do you know about the Maltese?
I know that it's a type of dog.
Oh, good. Let's drop that a little bit further.
Generally fluffy, kind of a cute face with a long snout. Am I anywhere close?
Well, yeah, long, but since it's so small.
Well, long in perception.
Yes, in
proportion to its body. Yippy.
Ooh.
I think of Malteses as kind of yippy, but I also think of them as just perfect lap dogs where they'll just kind of cuddle up next to you and just go, hey, I'm just here. Excitable, a lot of energy. Am I anywhere?
Yeah, you're hitting a lot of them. The yippy part we'll talk about. That's not necessarily a true statement. It's more what the owners.
It's more what the owners. Again, personal experience. So anyway, tell us about the Maltese.
The Maltese. But wait. I think I'm going to come out here with the origins. Where do you think? Oh, yes, there it is.
Malaysia. Just because that begins with an M and Maltese.
It's actually easier than you think. So think on that.
Maltese Falcon. Wasn't there a TV show, The Maltese Falcon?
The name of the country is in the name of the breed.
You start. I'll do a little bit of research.
There we go. A toy dog covered from head to toe with a mantle of long silky white hair. I love that because what they're saying is it's not going to be a matting dog generally. They have a silky coat that doesn't mat, so you can let this one grow long. It's not as high maintenance as some other breeds that get matty, and so you're always brushing. You will brush this one, don't get me wrong there. The Maltese is gentle-mannered and affectionate, known for being lively, playful, and fearless despite its small size. Oh, by the way, I'm reading this. This is from the petlandiowacity.com website under breeds, and it's all from AKC. AKC provides this to us. So, is gentle in manner and affectionate, known for being lively, playful, and so that gets to it is somewhat of a lap dog, but it is playful. A small dog that's playful is much easier than a big dog that's playful because it's smaller in stature. They run around for 5 minutes at your speed, and they're like, okay, they're not going to go for a jog or anything like that. So playful and fearless despite its small size. Maltese are intelligent little dogs that are very fast learners if they feel sufficiently rewarded. That's like you, Jerry.
Good one, Ron.
Today, their refinement, cleanliness, and portability make them a popular choice as a companion dog. So this little one, and we're going to get to the size. Jerry, can you cover for me? I have a little scratch on my throat.
I'm going to guess that the Maltese is from the Republic of Malta, which is a southern European island country consisting of, that in the Mediterranean Sea, south of Italy.
Good guess.
Thank you.
So it is small. So getting back to on track, it is smaller and portable, which is our society is becoming, hey, I need something more and more portable. So this literally can come on the plane with you as an adult. Check your airlines, make sure you're doing everything right. There is a fee and all that kind of stuff, but it can go into a kennel. It does have to go under the seat in front of you. This dog is going to be, as an adult, small enough for most airlines to do exactly that. So you can actually take it with you fairly easily. Very portable in that regard. And then also when you're thinking about, how I don't want to take the dog with me on my vacation for whatever reasons, this is also going to be a dog that somebody else will have an easier time taking care of. I grew up not being allowed to have a dog in our home. That was just my parents, and very much I respect their rule. I have made up for it since then. But this is a dog where you come to somebody and say, hey, can you take care of my dog for the next week? And they look at the little thing and go, yeah, I think I can handle that. Or I would love to learn what it's like to have a dog, and this seems like a small little present that would be easy. So portable and easy for somebody to take care of on top of it. History: the Maltese was once known as ye ancient doggy of Malta. And Jerry did a very fine job of guessing.
I was just guessing at top of my head.
For that is where they were first recognized and how they received their name. The breed has been an aristocrat of the canine world for over 28 centuries, owned by royalty all over the globe. Even as far back as the 1500s, they were claimed to be sold in US dollars for how much, Jerry?
Claimed to be in the 1900s?
1500s, the year of Martin Luther.
2 cents.
$2,000. That'd be like in millions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I meant
of money.
to say 2 bits.
Bits.
Bits. Do you know how much a bit is? Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Do you know how much a bit is? 12.5 cents. 25 cents for a shave and a haircut. Go on.
Okay.
Shave and a haircut.
I've heard
bits.
that, yeah, but you know those things more than I do. And while other companion dogs, such as the Pomeranian, have been bred down from larger sizes. So if you don't know it, Pomeranians just about 100 years ago were about 40 pounds. Now, the AKC labels them as 6 to 7 pounds, I believe. So that breed was bred down. They bred smaller and smaller dogs, not Pomeranian dogs. They bred it into a different breed and then brought it back to the Pomeranian to get it down. And that does take a little bit to do. The Maltese was born this way, kind of a thing. This has been for a long time. The first Maltese were the same size as the dogs we see today. Temperament: even though the Maltese is a very small dog, they tend to be brave and without fear. They are one of the most gentle-mannered of all little dogs, but are also full of energy and very playful, making them great family dogs. We, by chance, are taking care of a Maltese at home right now. They are picky eaters, Maltese, and they're known for this in the breeder world, that they will just like off the cuff say, you know what, I just don't feel like eating.
Don't you hate that look that dogs give you when they're just like, you prepare a feast, whatever that feast is, whether it's, you put effort into it. For Greta, I used to love putting an egg into her dry Eukanuba dog food just because she loved it. But somebody else or another person's dog might like look down at it and then just innocently gaze up at you going, seriously?
It was this. Oh, my own dogs did that this morning.
Gosh.
Wendy was getting up the food, and I heard her in there go, "Well, why aren't you eating?" And it's the same. What is? Well, the Maltese is known for a little bit of that. All you got to do in those situations, and I think actually we're going to hit this in our next segment, is if it's an adult dog, yell, hold out. It's just like a child not eating the meal on the table and all that. If it's a puppy, and that's what we have in our store, our puppies, if they don't eat, you got to take action now, because it's that serious matter, because there's just not much to them at that point. So we took them home. Gets fresh oat milk every morning. This little Maltese does. I'm like,
of course it does.
Yes. And then it gets freeze dry. It really likes freeze dried dog foods. So it's not it doesn't like it when it's cooked. It likes it when it's freeze dried. So it gets in there and just eats this stuff away. So we're just getting it back onto the good old fashioned hard kibble here. But
wrap up the Maltese.
So even though the Maltese is very small, they tend to be brave and without fear. Oh, we talked about that. They are one of the most gentle-mannered of all little dogs, but are also full of energy and very playful like Jerry, making them great family dogs. Maltese should be brushed daily and groomed often to prevent mats from forming in their long white coat. I will still state that a Maltese is less matting than most other dogs. So you'll be able to have, if you want that dog that has long hair, a Maltese, and you want a small dog, is a great dog that you want to consider because of that hair quality. Under 7 pounds, 4 to 6 pounds preferred. It's a companion dog. It's in that family. This apartment dwelling is fine. I would say apartment dwelling is excellent. It's beyond fine. This is a small little dog, very active indoors is, I think, the best way to say it. Exercise, daily light exercise, and you can do that. Every morning. We actually enjoy this time with our little Maltese that we have at our home. I have a cup of coffee while the Maltese is just running around my feet and is like playing with toys and just is happy as a pickle to be around me, and then eats a little bit, drinks a little goat milk, then goes back and plays with the toys right at my feet. It's a fun little breed. Grooming, daily combing and brushing. That's exactly what I do. Regular professional grooming is recommended. There is nothing better than a professional groomer. They make dogs look so beautiful. Little to no shedding. So this is in that non-shedding category, which means it sheds like we do little. Easy on allergy sufferers because it is a small dog and it is a low shedding dog. That is easy on a person's allergies. So that is the Maltese. If you wanted to review it further, just go to petlandiowacity.com. Under breeds, it's a little button at the top, puppy breeds. Click on that and then migrate towards Maltese, and you'll get to reread all of what I did. And then I believe we'll even have pictures of Maltese, at the bottom of all the Malteses that we've had recently in our store. And that there is quite a cute picture out there on that. So check that out at our website.
You made me think of something with something that you said, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember the anecdote, and I can't remember the comedian that said it. I can't remember everything, but basically they said, can you imagine if an alien species came down to Earth and saw us as humans cleaning up the feces of a dog? They would think that the dog is higher on a pecking order than us. Can you even imagine that?
Wendy and I were talking yesterday morning on, that's a great observation. We were just looking at this little Maltese that's running around. It was in our bathroom and all that kind of stuff. And we go, dogs live better than probably 90%
really
of people in the
really
world.
Do. Yeah.
And because we were watching how she was playing with her toys, she was lapping up her fresh goat milk, all this kind of stuff. And we're like,
getting groomed and groomed daily.
Oh yeah, just pet me, kind of thing. And so dogs definitely have gained a quite high stature in our society.
In tying that all together, they also have a shorter life, so they should.
we got to pack it all.
Got to pack it all in. So we're going to be talking about dog myths. Let's jump right into this. What's going on with some of your myths?
So we've said this over years, in that that dog food label is difficult, and here it just had a little technical difficulty. Now we're back online. The dog food label is, even when you know all of what the label is supposed to do and all that kind of stuff, it's still not easy to read. But what I wanted to bring out is dog food myths, and with the internet, the dog food myths are getting more and more, and they just keep on coming out with different things about the food and that are just wrong. But because you read it on the internet and you read quantity on the internet, you assume that it is correct. Didn't we just earlier in the show today, we said, well, I saw it on a video, so it must be true, kind of thing. And it's just crazy on how many things aren't true, even when you've seen some kind of a video on it. Okay, first one, is grain-free better for your dog?
Yes.
Wrong.
Okay, I was wrong.
There is no scientific study that has ever shown that a grain-free diet is better for your dog. Yet, watch the internet. It says, hey, life is better on grain-free. Dogs are opportunistic eaters. They want to eat anything, and we do mean anything, because they eat our shoes and all sorts of things. So to think that in the wild they're not going to eat grain, come on, let's just think about that a little bit. And they have the digestive enzymes and bacteria that will consume it, produce it into energy for them, and all that kind of stuff. So they were designed to eat grain. Now, what people sometimes have done is dogs do have allergies, just like we do, and there are foodborne allergies and all that kind of stuff. And they switch to a grain-free, which, oh, by the way, has other limited ingredients in it and is usually a higher quality. switch to it, and then they find out that their dog has, done better because of the allergy thing, and then they go, oh, therefore grain-free is better. For that dog, yeah, I would totally agree. There was probably some other grain-in type products out there that would have worked as well. Most allergies are from the protein source in the dog food, and that usually is derived from a meat source. So if you're feeding a chicken-based product, switch to a non-chicken-based product. And then the code word that you want to even look for on the bag, limited ingredient, is what you want to see on there. That means that's code in the dog food world, and it's, I believe, regulated as well. It means there's only one meat protein source in that dog food. So you can go from a duck to bison to venison to salmon to whatever, and get them on. You try different meat sources, and that way, when you see them go off of or not have the allergies, whether it's on the face, the eyes, and the skin, now you know that that was that chicken was the problem. Just stay away from chicken.
Next myth.
Meal. Is meal, if you see meal on the bag, is that a bad thing or a good thing?
It's a good thing.
Excellent. Except if it says meat meal. When it says, it almost sounds like a Monty Python thing. If it's meat meal, it's a question mark of what the meat is. So they're just saying any meat, and that means they are looking for some cheap stuff. If it says chicken meal, that's good. Lamb meal, that's good. All these, when they specify the meat source, that is all good. Jerry, why is that good? Do you remember why?
No.
If it said lamb and that's it, that would be wet weight, is what they're calling it.
Yeah. Now I remember.
If they say lamb meal, that's cooked weight. So to put this in your head, a quarter pounder is a quarter pound wet weight. After it's cooked, you don't get a quarter pound worth of meat on your bun, or in your bun. And so when they say lamb meal and it's at the top of the ingredients list, that means it's all the meat source. It's at the top. So you're going to get, in the value is, you get 300% more if it just said lamb, because if it just says lamb, there's a lot of water weight that brings it up to the top of that ingredients list. Lamb meal got rid of that water, and if it's still at the top of the ingredients list, 300% more lamb meat, good stuff in there. So lamb meal or meal, when they specify the meat source, is great.
What do they mean when they say byproducts?
Oh, Jerry, you are such a great host.
Trying to keep you on.
So Byproducts has gotten a very bad name, to the point where I am having on the good quality foods, I can't find Byproducts on their label anymore. I think if in the grocery store, you'll still see, like in those cheap brands, you'll see Byproducts. But it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. So byproducts. What do you think when they say byproducts? What do you think that includes?
Bones, tendons, gristle,
hair, grizzle,
just anything else that they just throw in there and go, yeah.
So it includes those. You are correct. But it also could include the heart. Hey, wait, isn't that a good thing?
It is a good thing.
Lung.
I think it's a good thing.
Liver.
Yeah, as long as the dog didn't, or whatever the animal didn't drink.
Yeah. So, well, better at drink water. All right. So those things were good things, and Jerry, you said a lot of the bad things. So just a general byproduct leaves it up to the manufacturer to decide. There were great, and still are around. Science Diet had byproduct in their ingredients list. I've had employees go to their manufacturing plant and go, I saw what they put in for byproducts, heart, lung, all these good things, and that's what increase the nutritional value of the food. Now, go to the grocery store. If it says byproduct on there, that's code word for we're going to find cheap things to throw in there. Like meat meal, that was a cheap thing to throw in there. Byproducts, for if you're buying based on price at the grocery store or at the mart, that's what they're going after, is the cheap products. That's where you get into an excessive amount of bone, crushed up kind of stuff. Hair, which is crazy. Why would they put hair in there? It's a protein source. hair actually has protein value. The only thing is their bodies, the dog's body, can't digest it, so it can't get the protein out of it. So they can claim it on the label, but the dog doesn't get the benefit. This is the difference between cheap foods and better quality premium foods.
What about corn?
Is corn good for your dog, Jerry?
I would say no.
Why?
Because humans can't digest it. I know that's I don't.
Yeah, we can. It just doesn't have very much. Right.
Yeah.
Same.
I would say it is good for dogs.
Yeah, and exactly the same thing is on the dog side. So if you see corn in there, and that's another taboo, the internet has made this such a taboo topic that they've taken corn out. But you can take sections of the corn, and it was good for the dog, just like sections are good for us as well. So let's not poo-poo corn. Byproducts. Oh, let's just go back to byproducts for a little bit. On the Jerry just gave me an eye roll.
Because I see your list, and I know we still have...
It'll go quicker, Jerry. Just let me go. Byproducts. What's interesting in the premium foods that they're doing now is they're breaking out. They're now specifying lung, which I think is a good thing. Instead of lumping it into a general category, they're now saying lung. Origin is a really high quality food, has many byproducts in it, but you will not see byproduct on the label because they have specified each specific one on the label. You have to go from top to bottom, 13 items in before you get off of a meat source, because you'll read things like lung, heart, and all that kind of stuff. So that's byproduct. So yes, and then corn, like you said, is good. It's not the best source, but a little bit of corn isn't going to hurt anybody. So corn's not necessarily bad, but you see that less and less on the labels. Oh, we've already covered the next one on my list here, Jerry. You didn't point that out.
I already saw it. I knew.
All right, next one. Beet pulp. We've just recently talked about beet pulp. How about beet pulp, Jerry?
I say it's good for dogs.
Why do you think people are saying it's actually bad on the internet? Why?
I have no idea. Just because people don't like beets, and so they say that it's bad for your dog so that they don't have to buy them or deal with them.
I like that one. Do you know where most of our sugar, table sugar, is from?
Beets.
Beets. I didn't know that until about, I don't know, 10 years ago. Beets is where, when you buy sugar on the shelf at the grocery store, that's beet sugar. And I actually haven't looked at the label, but it probably says it on the label. They extract all that sugar for us because it's good for us. And then what they have left over is all the fiber portion of the beet, called beet pulp. They have taken all of the sugar they can get out of it. And they went, well, what do we do with all this great fiber? Well, they feed it in all sorts of different ways. I was reading in preparation for this, beet pulp is very high esteemed in the horse industry for fiber, for its fiber content. But the internet has made it taboo for dogs for some reason, because beets have sugar in it, and that's a bad thing. So let's get off that sugar thing, because they've extracted all of it out of the beet. All that's left is the fiber portion. So that's beet pulp. The next two items, how much time do we have, Jerry?
We're over when I'm looking at your clock down there, we're over by 3 minutes. So
3 minutes. All right, real quickly. These are not ingredient things. It's my dog won't eat that food. That is a choice you've made for the dog then. The dog's saying, I'm going to walk away, but you can just take that meal up and say, if you don't want to eat, I'm fine with that. Mealtime is 3 p.m. Next mealtime is 3 p.m. and bring it back, and they will then start eating it. If this is a puppy, it's something else, and you might want to take some extra precautions because their weight gain is important. But my dog won't eat that food because it's premium, because it's different, because of whatever. It's a decision you make. You want to make sure you've made the decision, and just hold back their food, and they'll come back hungrier, just like a child would if they don't eat their meal. Then the last one, table food is okay for my dog. Realize we don't know the proper nutritional quantities for our dog and our cat. When we feed them food scraps, 9 times, and it's more than this, out of 10, when people come into our store and say, my dog's not eating dog food anymore, I go, well, what are you feeding at the table? Well, my husband or my wife, it's always the other one, is feeding at the table. And I go, you need to stop that because you are feeding them a proportion that's probably inappropriate for your dog. Protein versus vegetable versus grain versus all that. They need a higher protein base than we do. So if they're not eating their dog food, stop feeding them at the table, no matter what. And they will go away if they're opportunistic. If they're not getting it there, they're going to go someplace else to go get it. And that is how you're going to get them to eat more of a proper nutrition. And that is their dog food that you have, that good quality dog food that you got from Petland.
Anything else going on at Petland of Iowa City?
Oh, just the reminder that we got the buy 10, get one free. We track it for you. You don't have to monitor or cut and paste anything. And when it comes to you, Jerry has factually checked this, that balloons do come out of the ceiling and streamers come.
You're setting yourself up. I have not verified anything about Petland of Iowa City.
We have a party. It's always a party when you get something for free. We had a lady yesterday. She goes, "Oh, I don't buy much dog food. I don't get that, kind of a thing." We said, just put it under your account. It doesn't matter. It was a free one. She goes, "Oh, you just made my day." And we're like, that is what we're all about. So dog food, cat food, buy 10, get one free. We track it for you. It's that easy. And then don't miss out on the $5 nail trim. If you're between groomings, between vet visits, come on in, bring it in. It's no appointments necessary. We take care of it for you.
There it is, PAWSitively Petland Show, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's News and Sports Station 800 KXIC. Have a great week, Ron.
Thank you.